Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again, and welcome to The Roads with Belle. Today is October 5th, 2025, and this is episode 111 of The Roads Not Taken, which is a weekly series where we go over the news that was unreported, underreported, didn't get the coverage we thought it deserved, or we just found it interesting. And then we go through a few questions from y'all. Also, it's Spooky Month. We're trying out a new naming convention. Don't let that scare you. Today is October 5th, and it's World Teacher Day and National Do Something Nice Day. And on this date in 1961, Breakfast at Tiffany's was released. And starting with foreign policy, Congo and Rwanda have announced they will not sign the economic deal this week. That puts the peace process there on the rocks. A ruling by a court in Congo has also thrown Trump's mineral plans into disarray. Foreign policy is hard. China is denying supplying weapons that furthered the fighting along the border between Thailand and Cambodia. The Albanian Prime Minister was caught on hot mic telling the presidents of France and Azerbaijan that the French president should apologize for not congratulating them on the end of the war between Albania and Azerbaijan. Everyone had a good laugh because the countries weren't at war, but Trump said they were. Trump's understanding of foreign policy is a punchline with international appeal. The U.S. has continued its strikes against boats it claims are linked to running illicit drugs into the U.S. Congress was informed, quote, "The President determined that the United States is in a non-international armed conflict. This could very well spiral now into an unnecessary war." Trump's pressure campaign in the Middle East has led to him saying that both Israeli and Palestinian forces are ready for peace. He has told Israel to stop bombing. Reporting from the region suggests that hasn't occurred as of Saturday. In U.S. news, we're in a government shutdown caused by Trump ordering Republicans in Congress to ignore their constitutional duty and not negotiate with Democrats. And they obeyed him. Republicans in the House have canceled votes next week. Speculation is already starting that this is yet another delay tactic to stop the release of the files. The fact that I didn't even say which files and everybody knows is why that speculation exists. If Republicans are successful at stopping the ACA tax credit extensions, health insurance premiums will rise 114% at the end of the year. Average premiums would increase 114%, from $888 to $1,904 per year. The U.S. Supreme Court has allowed Trump to end protections against deportations for hundreds and thousands of Venezuelans. The Supreme Court term beginning on Monday is going to be a big one, and we'll be going over some of the cases in depth soon on the main channel. But the general tone is that the Supreme Court will be ruling on how much executive power the president should have. This is going to be an interesting thing when the pendulum swings. The director of the Dwight D. Eisenhower Presidential Library has resigned after he reportedly refused to allow an original sword from the collection to be given by Trump to King Charles. In cultural news, the Pope created a firestorm by talking about U.S. politics. He said, quote, "Someone who says I'm against abortion but is in favor of the death penalty is not really pro-life. Someone who says I'm against abortion but I'm in agreement with the inhumane treatment of immigrants in the United States, I don't know if that's pro-life." The U.S. Treasury Department is considering minting a coin with Trump's face on it. It will list 1776 and 2026 as the dates. This is probably going to create a number of issues for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is, quote, a living person may not appear on U.S. currency. In science news, reporting suggests that 1 to 2 Starlink satellites are falling back to Earth every day. Glaciers in the high Sierras are expected to disappear forever as soon as 2050. In economic news, official U.S. economic reports will be delayed during the government shutdown, creating even more uncertainty. ISM seems to suggest U.S. manufacturing is still losing jobs. Governor Newsom signed a bill allowing hundreds of thousands of gig drivers like Uber and Lyft drivers to unionize. Trump is reportedly considering engaging in some kind of tariff relief for U.S. automakers. He's also reportedly considering a bailout of soybean farmers of $10 billion or more. Wow. Turns out the tariffs were a horrible idea. Shocked. Even Jeff Bezos now seems to be suggesting stocks are overvalued and there's an AI bubble. That news comes at the same time as MacroStrategy Partnership suggesting the bubble exists and saying it's 17 times larger than the dot-com bubble. In oddities, some are suggesting that Comey should announce his candidacy for president to take advantage of the legal precedents set by Trump. The man you probably know as QAnon Shaman, who was pardoned by Trump, is now suing Trump and others for $40 trillion. Conservatives are bigly mad over discovering 2 cartoon characters kissed in 2022. On to the Q&A. Our first question. What is going on with the delays in swearing in at Alita Grijalva? Would that truly be about the Epstein files? We obviously can't say for sure, but there's a lot of speculation about why Speaker of the House Johnson is leaving Americans without representation. I have seen video clips the past few hours of Fox News White House correspondents asking the press secretary some pointed questions and being played on television under the Fox News banner. Are they not friends anymore? Well, you have 2 things that could be responsible for the slight shift in tone. One is that Trump and Murdoch definitely don't seem to be friends anymore. And 2, Trump's disastrous economic policies are messing with the money of the wealthy. For a while now, Donnie and the White House have been telling us that the tariffs have brought in over $17 trillion, yet the Treasury has no record of that much money coming in. So where did all that money go? Shouldn't there be a hearing to find out where the money went? Did Donnie steal it? We should all be demanding that Donnie account for every penny of that $17 trillion. P.S. You should do more to promote your channel. You never ask people to like and subscribe, which would help your channel grow. There is actually a push by Democrats to do that. The reality is, there has not been $17 trillion in fresh investment. He made it up. The GDP growth readings would be off the charts if what he was saying was remotely true. So, that looks like it. A little more information, a little more context, and having the right information will make all the difference. Y'all have a good day.